warm greetings to all of you. Thank you very much for supporting this very important event, and I hope that we'll continue to support Africa Access and CABA and all the important work that Brenda and her associates have been doing over the years to really bring about different understandings of an important area of the world, which has for too long suffered the weight of these enduring stereotypes. And I think for the past 25 years, with the kind of production, with the kind of things that have been coming out of Africa Access in particular, we're beginning to see really these transformations, these shifts in the kinds of understandings they go through meticulously, vet, and also make sure that they get disseminated and shared over a broad network, both institutionally and also to the general public. So I really want to commend Brenda and all of her team for this phenomenal piece of work over the past 25 years.
When I count to 3, I need everyone to say peace and throw up the deuces like this. Y'all ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Peace. You guys are wonderful. You are beautiful. Thank you very much. I am an avid book reader. I am a fan of Africa. I have a lot of black people in my family. I don't know. My mom, my dad. My family's from a small African country called South Carolina. And thank you, yes, give it up for that. Here's how I would like to do libation today. If you don't know exactly what libation is, it is when you take a moment to recognize your ancestors. All right? When you think about who are the people, what is the culture, what are the things that have brought you to this point right here today with all these beautiful, successful, lovely people. Frederick Douglass. Ashe. Harriet Tubman. Ashe. Malcolm X. Ashe. Everyone with me, say one more time, Ashe. Ashe. How do you imagine a continent that your teachers and librarians don't acknowledge exists? This is a problem of epic and multi-continental proportions. This is the world I was born into, even though I grew up in the mostly black neighborhood of Prince George's County in Northwest Washington, D.C. This is a problem that CABA, under the unflinching and vulnerable leadership of Brenda Randolph, has fought valiantly to help solve. The more positive images you see of yourself, the better you will feel about yourself, and that esteem will probably be seen in higher grades. But there are so many more positives from having stories about black people, and specifically to our awards here tonight, African stories. This is why Brenda has always demanded that African stories are told regularly and with reverence. When it comes down to it, our children's books don't just teach us our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. They teach us humanity, who we are to care for, who we are to listen to, who we are to trust. Our book characters are our imaginary friends. Your kindergarten teacher's reading cadence can be the metronome for your life. Fairy godmother Brenda used her magic wand, or as we called in the early 1990s, the mouse on her computer, to launch Africa Access Review, a free online database of scholarly reviews of K-12 books on Africa. Brenda's here to save the day, so don't worry. She found books of African origins and allegories and gave out awards of praise and glory. First book was The Origins of Life on Earth, a Yoruba creation story. Can everybody join me for a moment and give a rousing applause for Brenda Randolph and the CABA Book Awards. Yes.
main instrument is Kora. That's 21 strings, right? It's made from a calabash. Who knows what a calabash is? Right? And they cover that calabash with cow skin, okay? So next time, don't be like, oh, that's a cool thing. You know? All right, well, thank you again for listening.
Everyone, please give a warm round of applause for Brenda.
It has taken a village to create CABA. And crucially important in CABA's creation are the African studies scholars who review books nominated for the award. It takes a village every year to support CABA because we've been doing this now for 25 years. Our people raise funds, they coordinate travel and hotel arrangements, and a lot of that is Harriet, who does all of that work. So a special shout out to Harriet. I did the name tag, so I screwed it all up, so I'll never have that job again. 3 members of my family are really, really important reviewers of the CABA books. My grandchildren, Che, Talia, and Kari. I was working at New Hampshire State's Elementary School in Montgomery County. And this time the transformative person was a little second grader, let's call her Siata, who's from Liberia. I was reading the book Galimoto, which if you know that book, or if you don't know, you should get to know that book. It's still in print, always in print. In the book, the main character's name is Kandi, and he is scouring his neighborhood looking for scraps of wire so that he can make a galimoto, which is like a car. Many of you who've been to Africa see these ingenious little cars that the boys make all over Africa. And Kandi is a little boy, and he's trying to prove to his brother, I can do this. And they're saying, oh, you're too little. He says, oh, I can do this. So he goes all around town looking for scrap metal. So as he's going through the town, you get an opportunity to see the town. You don't see any lions. There are no wildebeests. There are no crocs prowling. There's none of these what is it they call them, the big 5, the big 6 animals, they're not there. What you just see are kids playing, you see adults working. And the town has a variety of dwellings, including picturesque thatched houses, sturdy brick homes with lattice windows, just a regular town. Well, after the reading, Siata came up to me and whispered in my ear, Miss Randolph, I'm from Liberia. Please read more books like Galimoto to my class. These children don't know anything about Africa. They say the worst things to me. Galimoto shows what Africa is really like. Her comments truly galvanized me, and I realized that in addition to spreading awareness about the problems in children's Africana, we needed to do more to get the word out about good books on Africa, few though they were at the time. So I spoke to the Outreach Council, of which I was a member, and they agreed that we should create this award. And so that's really how CABA was born, from this little girl who I tried very hard to find. And we're still looking. One day we're going to find. Anytime you meet somebody from Liberia, ask them if they went to New Hampshire States in the 90s and they were in 2nd grade, so we can find her and thank her for what she did. To broaden the constituency for African cultural literacy, just to announce, you're the first people to really hear this, that the Outreach Council has decided that we will be doing another award. We will be adding it to the awards that we have for young children and older readers, and this one is called the New Adult Award. And this is a term, new adult, that may be new to you, but it is being used by the American Library Association. And what it means is these are books that are written with an adult audience in mind, but are also suitable for mature teens. So we will be giving a new adult award to an African author who has written one of these books, and we will start doing that in 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our past CABA winners.
Generation after generation shall look people in the eye. Generation after generation shall argue until their saliva dries out of their mouth. Those who say Africa is a country. Those who say Africa is boring. They will argue until their mouths dry when they talk to those who say Africa has no scientific knowledge. African girls do not need school. Nina ngomphikisa kuze kuhle inkolo yembongolo nina babhali bacondo siyanesaba nina ngoba ninyoni ebhabubhamuzayo owela bhamuzani njalo fly forever like the long bird that flies long distances. Fly forever even if you fly alone. Ndizi uyozumfika unyoko wena mbhali kakhapha ndizi uyozumfika unyoko umkhonzelelezo itaba babhali bakhapha siyabongela halala bamaminisa khapha halala you who is lazy, who doesn't want to write yet you have the talent. You who is lazy, who doesn't want to read yet you have eyes. Halala kapa, halala. The new matter is here.
This was a beautiful event, an amazing commemoration of authors writing and illustrating about Africa. And I feel blessed to have been able to be a part of it. The people, the food, and just being surrounded by other people who also believe in Africa and of Africa and kind of continuing this legacy.
So I met Brenda in 2003 and started volunteering to help put these on every year. And the big thing is I get to meet these wonderful authors and illustrators every year. And every year I get to learn about a new country because each year we have books from different places. So I love it. And I hope you'll read some of the books this year too.
This is needed because it's all work toward encouraging young people to connect to their root, Africa, and learn about their history. And even if they learn about sense of humor, books that are sort of like a fiction but based on small reality of Africa, and it all works. I was really proud of being a part of this.
I was floored. It's gorgeous. Everything is so beautifully put together, and everyone was honored, and I feel special to have been a part of it.
Well, I think it's great. It gives recognition to people who deserve it, and it also spread the word so that the books can travel. Other people can see what is being done in other parts of the world.
Really great evening, very historic. 25 years celebrating the anniversary of the Children's Africana Book Award, which is a great milestone. So Brenda and her crew did a wonderful job, and we're all very happy. So congratulating her for a job well done, and wishing CABA and Africa Access and everybody that works with her much more success down the road.
This was a very important program tonight. Little children all around the world should have more African books. And when they have books on Africa, they can have a better love of all of Africa. Do you agree?
Excited.
I agree.